Child's Play 3 came out during an era when TV versions of films were not only a prominent fixture on American cable television, but something film productions actively thought about while making films. Today we're taking a look at some of the extra footage that was worked into Child's Play 3 for the TV cut. Specifically, some of this is from a Sci-Fi Channel broadcast, and some of it's from a USA Channel broadcast. The Scream Factory 4K release for Child's Play 3 does not list this on the back as a special feature, but if you put it in the Blu-ray disc, it has it on there. This is going to be fun, I think. Let's take a look at all these extra and alternate scenes. So when Chucky is in Sullivan's office and he's talking with Petzold, there's more of him guilting him into working.
It's just that my wife's expecting me. It's our anniversary.
That's fine, Petzold. But remember, there's always someone, somewhere, who's working just a few minutes later than you. Think about it.
Well, I guess I could review the Larrabee report after dinner. Good night, Mr. Sullivan.
Good night. Fine.
It's just my wife's expecting me. It's our anniversary.
Fine, Petzold.
I guess I could review the Larrabee report after dinner.
It has a Scrooged vibe, you know? And I say Scrooged because that's my favorite Scrooge adaptation. It's a minor change, but it's also framed completely differently and may be an entirely different take. While not completely necessary, I do like stuff like this because it just gives a little more insight into this character and why we want him to die. The thing about slasher films, it's really enjoyable sometimes to make unlikable characters so that you can root for the villain to kill them. Now, you don't want to do that all the way to the end, but you want to have at least a few of those characters. Sullivan is one of those guys. After Chucky kills Sullivan, he gets on his computer to look him up. This is where we see one of the swear words eliminated from the theatrical cut.
Where are you, you little snot? I gotta get out of this goddamn body. Where are you, you little shit?
As far as replacing shit with snot, I mean, not bad. I don't know what other word you could have replaced it with. Punk? Turd maybe would have been funny, I guess. Next up, there's a pretty long scene on the Kent military school bus with Tyler and Andy talking. Andy's just chilling, being depressed, looking out the window like a normal teenager. Tyler notices him sitting back there alone on the bus, offers to play his game with him.
What'd you say your name was?
Andy.
We only go by last names at Kent.
Barkley.
You want to play me, Barkley?
No, thanks.
Come on, I'll give you a 10-point lead.
Nah, I'm not too good at those things.
This gives more development to Tyler's character because he gets the chance to explain some of his backstory and his family.
When I first came to Kent, I really missed my dad a lot. But you know, soldiers don't cry. You get used to it.
Andy's sympathetic with him because he's younger and he's obviously relating to him in some of his experiences.
You look pretty young to be on your own.
I'm 8.5 years old. That's not so young.
No. I guess not.
The scene ends with Tyler giving him a knife.
I can't take your knife.
Go ahead. My dad will play me another one. A good soldier's always prepared, Barkley.
Which is fascinating because we do see Andy use this knife later in the movie, but this isn't in the theatrical cut. After his haircut, there's some more additional footage with Andy and Tyler walking back, and basically Tyler showing him where his room is, kind of, or at least telling him where it's at.
Well, Barkley, you're right up there.
Thanks for all your help, Tyler.
He offers to go hit like the rec room and play some pool with him, but Andy kind of blows him off, and he's like,
Sorry, I can't. I have to go unpack. Hey, I'll see you around.
No, you won't. You'll be with the older guys. It's just the way it is.
oh, that's okay, you're with the older kids anyway, I kind of expected this to happen. Again, gives a little bit more into that development about why Tyler so quickly turns on Andy in just a bit. You can see his feelings were hurt there. There's a little bit with Andy and Whitehurst standing outside before the initial lineup in the film, and Whitehurst is explaining how to wear his hat properly.
Straight, like, two fingers above your nose, a little further down. Like, yeah.
Meanwhile, Kristen and her friend are staring, and she's like, who's that?
Hey. Who's the new guy?
Nothing too crazy there, just adds a little bit. I'm sure it was mostly for timing that they added this, simply because they were removing some gore and stuff from this movie. There's an entirely new classroom scene that takes place. Andy is distracted. It gives typical horror movie. It gives Halloween. Nightmare on Elm Street comes to mind. all these movies where the teenager is kind of sitting there contemplating, you know, in class. It Follows. The teacher's giving a lecture about Napoleon, and she asks Andy a question, who's clearly distracted, just staring out the window.
Can you tell us why, Mr. Barkley?
What was the question?
Both this woman and the guy who has the heart attack when he dies, they are like, don't seem like terrible people.
I realize we're all shaken up by what happened today. But let's make an effort, shall we, Mr. Barkley?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
They're pretty understanding with these kids. The kids they've put in charge, on the other hand, and the weirdo who's cutting their hair and is like sniffing their hair and shit, that guy's a little weirdo. After that, there's a cannon being fired and a flag being lowered, assumably after Colonel Francis, whatever his face, dies. Next up, we get to see the conclusion of the kiss between Andy and Kristen, which, this is an interesting scene because it just shows that they're interrupted by Sheldon, who's not really being psychopathic in the scene or anything. He's just like, hey, yeah, come back to camp, you know.
Whatever it is, you can tell me.
You two break it up. Lights out in 5 minutes. We're moving out at dawn.
Again, stuff like this, it's clearly just added in for time, but the last big one is the alternate cut of the ending. This is an entirely different shot of a Chucky doll being thrown in there, and this one has like no blood in it. Take a look at these side by side. This is really interesting to me because this is the first Child's Play movie I remember ever seeing. My brother and I shared a room growing up, and I remember coming down into the room one night, and he was watching this. And it was pretty close to the middle of the movie. It was a scene with Chucky trying to convince Tyler to play Hide the Soul, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is fucked up. I was probably like 4, you know, maybe 5. But I was absolutely mortified, horrified, and scared shitless. And it was burned into my skull, Chucky falling into this metal fan. And now I can know for certain that if we watched the TV version, it was definitely him falling into this fan without the blood. Here's the problem. I do a podcast with my brother. I need to, ask him about this. Does he remember if we were watching a cable TV version or a VHS rented? Because we didn't own that movie, but we could have rented it. He could have rented it. But it also could have just been on cable TV and we could have seen this more censored version. Either way, it horrified me. There may as well have been the blood if there wasn't. You know what I mean? But also, this ending of this movie just reminds me of the 1990s movie Clifford starring Martin Short. Fantastic movie if you've never seen it, but that little roller coaster just reminds me of Larry the Scary Rex. I do gotta say, it does make dark rides seem rather appealing. Like indoor roller coasters combined with dark rides, fantastic. I'm not big into roller coasters, but I'll ride some small ones like The Mummy at Universal. Quick thank you to my channel members and Patreon subscribers. If you want more ectoviolence, including exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content, become a member by clicking the links in the description below.